I'd like to recognize that I'm on the traditional territory of the Kwangin-speaking people, the Songhees, and the Esquimalt nations. And I'm grateful to be speaking with you about important actions we're taking today to provide significant new support for British Columbians, while also managing our province's finances. We have been through a lot together. 2020 has brought each of us many challenges, and I'm proud of the way that we have all come together to keep each other safe and healthy while we await a vaccine. With the weather growing colder and holidays approaching, we know this can be an especially hard time for people. Colder weather can mean the need to spend more on clothing or home heating or finding extra gift money for the people that we love. We understand that and want to ensure people can afford necessities, can pay their bills, and be able to enjoy the holiday season this year, despite the pandemic. We made a commitment to provide a recovery benefit to British Columbians this year, and I'm so pleased to announce that we have tabled legislation today to introduce the tax-free BC Recovery Benefit. Starting December 18th, people will be able to apply online for the benefit. Up to 3.7 million British Columbians will be eligible for this benefit. Individuals will receive a one-time payment of up to $500 for single people earning less than $62,500. Single people earning up to $87,000 will qualify for a reduced benefit amount. And families making less than $125,000 will receive up to $1,000. Families, including single-parent families, earning up to $175,000 will qualify for a reduced benefit. We expect hundreds of thousands of British Columbians to have their benefit directly deposited into their bank accounts before the end of this year. This will give people some breathing room and peace of mind, a bit more to spend on groceries, on coats, on boots for their growing kids, and special gifts to lift our spirits. We know that the pandemic has disproportionately affected people with lower incomes in our province. That is why at the start of the pandemic, we temporarily enhanced income and disability assistance. People who need the support of income and disability assistance in our province can apply for the new recovery benefit as well. They will also automatically receive a recovery supplement, an additional $150 a month starting in January right through to March. Add that to the BC recovery benefit that they can apply for. That means individuals on income and disability assistance could receive up to an additional $950 over those months. And families with both parents receiving income and disability assistance could receive up to an additional $1,900 through these programs. Now, these benefits will also help stimulate our local economy and support small businesses that are working hard and providing good jobs for people. This is an important part about how we recover. I'm looking forward to the swift passage of the bill that will provide an additional $2 billion in support for British Columbians. Next week, I will also be providing an update on the province's finances. Before the session closes, I will release a fall economic and fiscal update to show our spending to date in support of British Columbians, the state of revenues coming in, and the resulted projected deficit. Meanwhile, work is underway for our next budget. We are doing the important work to build a robust and meaningful fiscal plan, a plan centered on looking out for people and families, investing in healthcare and seniors care to protect people and fight COVID-19, and building a recovery that includes everyone, not just those at the top. And while we do that work, we will continue to roll out support and new programs to help people and businesses recover. Thank you. I can now take some questions.
Thank you, Minister. As a reminder to everybody on the phone, please press *1 to enter the queue. You are limited to one question and one follow-up only. I would also ask that you please take your phones off mute. You are not audible until your name is called. First question is from Marcella Bernardo. Go ahead, Marcella.
For taking my question. How soon can this money be delivered to people if they're applying on December 18th?
If you thank you for the question. It's good to hear your voice. December 18th is when you can apply online, and we expect that people will receive direct deposit within a number of days of their application.
Do you have a follow-up, Marcella?
I know this is a technical thing, but for people who don't want to apply online, how can they access this money?
We are encouraging people to go online. A few days afterwards, I think it's December 21st, we will have a call center and people will be able to call that number. It should be up and running December 21st.
Next question is from Rob Shaw, Vancouver Sun.
Hi, Minister. So I'm just looking at that timeline. I'm hearing you say that the money will go by the end of the year or within a number of days, but if someone applies at the beginning online, do they get the benefit by Christmas to buy the special gifts and the other things that you were mentioning it could be used for?
We are expecting that will be able to happen, Rob, online, you'll be able, when you apply and you have all of your information put in correctly, it moves very quickly through the technological beings that we have, the machinery that we have, and we are expecting that people will be able to get in their bank account before Christmas.
Do you have a follow-up, Rob?
Yes, please. Thanks. What is the cost of administering this program? In the election, I think it was estimated at about $1.4 billion. What's the current estimate of how much this will cost?
1.6 to 1.7 billion. We've rolled in those on disability and social assistance as well.
Next question is from Rob Buffum, CTVBI.
Oh, hi. Thanks for taking my question. One thing I was wondering about is I thought I heard you say that the range for families goes up to 175,000, and I just wanted to clarify because I saw elsewhere, I think maybe in a release yesterday, it capped out at 170,000. Which is it?
It's 175.
Do you have a follow-up, Rob?
I do. I'm just wondering about support and relief for businesses. The things you've reiterated today relate to individuals and families, obviously. I'm wondering, is there anything you can tell us in terms of grants or relief or support for businesses? I just spoke to a restaurant that normally does extremely well in December, and it's going to be a very bleak year for them with all the risks.
We've rolled out a number of programs. I do know that there's certainly the new program that the Minister for Jobs, Economic Recovery and Innovation has been looking at, trying to addressing a program that has been adapted to be more easily applied for. So they've simplified the process to get money into the hands of businesses to help them through this rough spot. We are in this really interesting time as we see the vaccines right on the horizon, and anticipating that will help move us forward into a stronger recovery position. And so we know that these programs are absolutely critical to businesses and individuals and communities until we can get back to a more normal life, that pre-COVID life that we're all craving right now.
Andrew McLeod, the Tyee.
Yeah, hi, Minister Robinson. I'm just trying to understand how this will affect people on income assistance and disability assistance. As you know, some forms of income tend to get clawed back from assistance checks. Will the recovery benefit be exempt from that?
Yeah, there will be no clawback on this benefit.
Do you have a follow-up, Andrew?
Yeah, what's the rationale? So the supplement that they've been receiving had been $300 a month for the last 6 months or so. What's the rationale for dropping it to $150?
So the worker benefit that was rolled out back in March did not include people on assistance, and so as a result, we developed additional supports for those who were on assistance. This recovery benefit that we're rolling out now includes those who are on assistance, and so they have access to that benefit. But we also recognize that it has been a particular challenge for this particular group of British Columbians, and so it's for that reason we have a supplement to the recovery benefit. It's $150 a month. Andrew, do you have a follow-up?
Am I allowed another follow-up there? Because so just to be clear, that's a supplement on top of the recovery benefit. So we'll get the recovery benefit and the supplement, or I'm not sure I'm following. Sorry.
They get the benefit. They can apply for the benefit. And they will, in addition to that, they will get the supplement to the benefit of $150 a month from January to March.
Next question is from Lisa Cordasco, CHLY.
Yes. Will you extend that $150 a month benefit to those who are on federal disability?
Sorry, I didn't catch the last two words, I think.
Will you extend it to those who are on federal disability?
This program is for those that are on our programs, the social assistance and disability assistant programs that we have here in British Columbia.
Lisa, do you have a follow-up?
Yes. Why are people on federal disability who are British Columbians less deserving of $150 a month than those who are on provincial disability?
Yeah, my assumption is that they're on a provincial disability. I can get the more technical information for you on that if you'd like.
From Richard Zisman, Global News.
Minister, I'm just wondering about the sliding scale. The legislation doesn't seem to be online yet, and in the press release there aren't any details. And I know it's a bit of a technical question, but I'm hoping you can walk through for me some of the points in terms of how quickly it goes down, in terms of how much you make and how much benefit you are eligible for.
Okay, so I can give you why don't I just provide you with a couple of examples, and that might help. And if you want more detail about what the slide looks like, we can certainly get that to you. So a single parent with an annual income under or equal to $125,000 will get a one-time payment of $1,000. A two-adult family, these are just examples, with an annual income of $150,000 will get a one-time payment of $500. A two-adult family will get, with an annual income of $174,500, $275,000 will just get like a one-time payment of $10. So it slides down considerably. And this is about recognizing that you could have, been in 2019 with your tax returns that we're going to be using. For example, an electrician married to a hairstylist, and the impacts of COVID have been significant in terms of your ability to do Christmas the way you traditionally do, or being challenged to get the kids new boots because they've outgrown them. And so this is an opportunity to support even middle-income British Columbians with a little bit of extra so that they could take care of their families the way they traditionally have.
Richard, do you have a follow-up?
I think you just mentioned that it's based on the 2019 incomes. And as you know, a lot of British Columbians have seen a massive decrease in their incomes in 2020. This is sort of the people you're trying to help the most. So why go with 2019? And do you believe that there will be people, as you mentioned, an electrician, people who have lost work maybe made quite a bit in 2019 and this year made not so much. So will there be people lost here, and why go with 2019?
Well, this is why we have such a large scope in terms of those people that we're helping here, recognizing that. But if we were to wait for the 2020 tax returns, people wouldn't get a benefit until much later. And people need help now. So this is the best tool that we have to help us deliver a benefit to people who need it. And we've have a significant threshold that allows us to get at those people who need it most.
Glenn Korstrom, Business in Vancouver.
Hi, yeah. Just wondering about the verification. So it's an online registration or processing system. People just put in information. Is there any verification? Do you have authority to share information with Revenue Canada, or you're just taking whatever people put in?
Thank you for the question. And yes, there's a significantly stringent verification process that staff have built into the system, making sure that we reduce any potential fraud, because it's really important that we get it into the hands of British Columbians.
Glenn, do you have a follow-up?
Yeah, I was going to ask about the 2019 year, but following up on your comment about the 2020, is it possible that we could see a second version of this in May or sometime into 2021?
Well, what we've said as a government is we're here to help British Columbians through the pandemic, and we're committed to that. And we've been committed to that since March, not knowing how long this pandemic was going to last. I'm sure, like everyone around the world, have been watching very closely as this vaccine rolls out. And I believe in England we saw the first few folks get their shots, and it provided for me, just as a human being, tremendous relief to see that the vaccine horizon, and I'm hopeful that we are seeing ourselves right at the cusp of this next phase, and hopeful that we'll have the vaccine and that we'll have herd immunity built up in short order so we can get back to our lives.
We have one more question today from Les Lane at the Times Colonist.
Well, thank you. Minister, I was wondering how you arrived at the eligibility and the thresholds, the 62,005 and the 87,000 for individuals, and the under 125 up to 175 for families. So where did those numbers come from?
So what I had said earlier is we recognize that for using the 2019 returns, we also want to make sure that we capture those people who in 2020 may have been significantly impacted by by the pandemic. And so we made sure that we included middle income British Columbians in that, recognizing that that middle income British Columbians have certainly been impacted by the pandemic. And also recognizing that by putting this money in people's pockets, they're going to spend it in their communities, whether it's, taking the family out for dinner because they haven't had a chance to do that. And that's going to help the local restaurateur, or getting, their $5 latte because they haven't been able to, but it's going to help the local coffee shop. Going to their favorite bookstore and getting, books for their kids for Christmas, because that's going to help the local economy, as well as, allow them to bring Christmas to their children. So all of these things put together are good for British Columbians and good for our economy.
Les, do you have a follow-up?
I was just wondering, just on the philosophy, it sounds like it's going to be a fairly short-term jolt over basically a Christmas giveaway. Was there any consideration of other options? Could a longer-term thing like I don't know, the Liberals were talking about a sales tax cut. Would that have more long-lasting benefits given that recovery is going to take a period of years?
So I absolutely not. I think the Liberals' proposal was a terrible proposal. I'm not the only one to say that. Business leaders have also suggested it's a terrible proposal. This is a proposal to get money into people's pockets right now. This is about people needing supports, and that's what we're doing here. We're delivering for people here in British Columbia. We also recognize the supporting local businesses, and we are building a recovery together. We started that certainly with our recovery plan back in the fall. We're continuing to build that out, and we have more work to do. We are not stopping. We know that we have work to do as British Columbians to build back our economy better. We're starting to see some really good signals. There'll be more to tell on the economic update shortly, but again, we have certainly lots of work to do going forward.
That's all we have for today. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Thank you, everyone.